Chelsea managed to pull off a come-from-behind win over Aston Villa. James Olley joining me for this one. James, we definitely expected a bit of a scrap, knowing that Chelsea are trying to cement, their Champions League spots and put some distance in between them and Manchester United. Villa, of course, just fighting for survival. Let's focus on Chelsea, though. What did you think of the performance today?
Well, I mean, credit to them because ultimately they got a win, which is really important in terms of trying to cement a Champions League place for next season. There was a real opportunity today because Tottenham and Manchester United had drawn, Arsenal had lost, Sheffield United had lost. And for a while it looked as though they were going to blind that opportunity. So they showed some good character to come back in the second half. I think also, though, we did see enough of a reason as to why they're spending money as they are in the transfer market and bolstering those attacking options, because it did appear at one stage as though it was going to be one of those games where Frank describes himself as a broken record afterwards, in which they create so many chances, they look good early on, but they let that advantage slip and they don't really kill the game off when they've got the chance to do it. And the other team goes and punishes their defensive weaknesses at the other end. So the fact that they came back is a good sign. I think it's also very important for Pulisic and Giroud on an individual level to respond to that particular criticism, because they're two players who next season are going to find first team football more of a challenge to get on a regular basis, because of course Ziyech and Werner are going to be front and centre.
Well, we wouldn't be ESPN if, we didn't talk a little bit more, James, about Christian Pulisic, especially on a day that he scores. It was good signs for Chelsea seeing Ruben Loftus-Cheek come back, making way for Pulisic, who immediately helped change the game, got that goal. So, again, what are you, expecting from him? We just saw him talk after the match. He said he was a bit lucky with the finish there, but still, this has to help his confidence, knowing exactly who is coming in and some other names that are bolstering this Chelsea squad, right?
Yeah, and it's been overall probably an encouraging first season for Pulisic, but he would have wanted to have made more of an impact. And this is only his 7th Premier League goal of the season. 3 of those came in that one game against Burnley when he kind of announced his arrival really at Chelsea in October. I think end product's going to be the key for him now. He needs to be, if he can get a run in the side, this is obviously a huge step forward for him in terms of trying to get back in the team. If he gets back in the team, it's all about end product, as we say. Werner and Ziyech, they're players who are coming in because they have got a proven track record of being able to score goals and assists at the highest level. And Lampard has been consistently frustrated by, even when Tammy Abraham was scoring a lot of goals earlier in the season, he always pointed out this issue with creating chances, not killing off teams. And that's what he wants from those front 3 players. It can't all go on the central striker. Even if Werner is the number 9 next season and he chosen in and out with Abraham, he needs those wide players to contribute. And if Pulisic can do that on a more regular basis, then he's got every chance of being a key member of that team, not just now, but in the future.
And in terms of Champions League spots, and of course, just that top 4 battle, we know that Chelsea and Manchester United started out quite close. Now Chelsea, of course, have put some distance between them and Man United. Do you just pick it to stay that way, to Chelsea to just continue going this way?
Well, the problem with Chelsea is that, like a lot of the clubs really that are going for that, particularly that 4th spot, is that they're so inconsistent that you don't really know what you're going to get from one week to the next. I think what Frank's probably seen in the second half in particular might be the benchmark for them going forward. There was a good intensity about them. There was a good commitment and drive and determination to really to turn over that 1-goal deficit. I think it was quite significant that we saw 1 or 2 positional changes. So Azpilicueta going to right back rather than playing his left back with Reece James. I thought Azpilicueta played very well, particularly in the first half when Chelsea were on top. He was putting in ball after ball with really good quality from the right-hand side. And Kante, I think that was a significant change. He's been played on the right of that central midfield 3, but today he was played in what everybody seems to think is his better position, that kind of deeper holding role, an anchor man, a quarterback, if you like. And he was great there. He kept Jack Grealish very quiet all afternoon. I think that might be something that maybe we'll see more regularly going forward in these final 8 or 9 games, is Kante in his preferred position, and then 1 or 2 others kind of auditioning for those roles around him. Loftus-Cheek obviously back in the team today. Barkley came off the bench. Kovacic, Mount can play in that position as well. So that they have got quite a few different variations. Billy Gilmour was another one who obviously was very, very good just prior to the COVID-19 outbreak and the break for football as a whole. So he has got combinations that he can play in there. But I think Kante, for a long time, people have wanted to see him in that kind of anchor role, and maybe that's the run in the team that he's going to get now.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.